You know, sometimes I get cyberbullied, harassed if you will, by some of the top-run creationists out there. I mean, this one, just so you know, was brought to you by the YouTube channel Christian Reason and Science, a YouTube channel with over 10,000 subscribers.
I don't know why, but I don't seem to have a lot of luck with women. I mean, I'm kind, I'm caring, I'm... No, it's a mystery, that.
I know, such cruel harassment. Now, I know there are people out there who think that if they are hypersensitive enough to criticism, that this will guilt people into not criticising them. And of course, they love clearly labelling anyone who disagrees with them with some pejorative name. You know, bigot or misogynist or Islamophobe, that sort of thing.
The fact is, our schools are run along legal lines. They treat both sexes equally, provide them with the best opportunities. So it's often a case of people who have prejudices and ignorance.
Mariam? I mean, I think it's typical of Islamic schools and the political Islamic movement to label any criticism a sort of prejudice and thereby racism, thereby trying to make people silent on criticizing it.
And for you to repeatedly refer to my faith in those terms is so derogatory, so offensive, and so bigoted, and the reason you keep repeating it is because you wanted to get a reaction like you're getting right now. Well, buddy, you got it. Right here, right now. I'm angry. Real angry.
Misogyny, as defined by the Blackwell Dictionary of Sociology, is a cultural attitude of hatred for females simply because they are female. Many games tend to reinforce and amplify sexist and downright misogynist ideas about women. This shouldn't have to be said, and sadly, it does need to be said. This is misogyny.
In fact, absolutely anything to shift the focus away from how their argument is being annihilated and say onto the personality of the person doing the annihilating. Incidentally, this is one of the reasons why I love anonymity on the internet, and I'm a staunch opponent of people like Facebook and Google Plus forcing people to use their real identities. Now, deep down, I know that this is basically an exercise in building up personality profiles on people in a way that would probably make the NSA look like a bunch of laid-back, easygoing libertarians. But oddly, one of the things that I care the most about is the loss of anonymity. And I'll tell you why.
Because ideas do not have a face. You cannot intimidate an idea. They don't feel, they don't bleed, they don't die. Indeed, an incontrovertible idea is a most formidable concept. Malice may attack it, ignorance may deride it, but in the end, there it is.
Anyway, back to the people who will do absolutely anything to avoid the argument. You know, people who will happily claim psychological disorders as a shield from criticism. This is simply an attempt to guilt people into not calling bullshit on your bullshit ideas. Sorry, but that's just not going to happen. You chose to inject yourself into the open marketplace of ideas, and people get to criticize you, your ideas, or indeed even your behavior just as robustly as you criticize others. And to claim a psychological disorder as a human shield is both opportunistic and cowardly.
And we want women to educate, entertain, and even titillate us, but we don't want to know what they go through to do that. We don't want to hear about the antidepressants they go on.
And even if it was true, you knew that before you elected to inject yourself into the public forum, and you still chose to enter the public marketplace of ideas. I mean, this is like getting drunk and then complaining that your reflexes aren't what they used to be. Now, while it's true I could easily emulate this victimhood routine, it's not a sophisticated game to play. Look, I've watched these emeculoids long enough to see their tricks, and it's simple. You just portray any mild criticism of themselves as, say, hatred against women or Muslims or whatever. Look, maybe the easiest way to remember this is when people like Watson talk about hatred against women or women getting harassed.
You think if you ignore a problem long enough, it'll go away, as opposed to the problem remaining and the women going away.
Remember, what she's actually talking about is people disagreeing with Rebecca Watson, and frequently because of the utterly contemptible and sexist things that she said.
That's right, you liberal intellectual guy who has a healthy interest in science and skepticism, but who finds feminism distasteful and would rather not hear about it. You are worse than rape threats.
Look, remember, there are plenty of people out there who are mature enough to understand the nature of this forum and prioritize their targets accordingly.
Now, of course, there's people that say heinous things, and you just gotta ignore that. I mean, that's just the nature of the internet. There are a number of people out there that watch the show and actually pay attention to what I'm saying and pay attention to the stories I do.
I mean, I could happily use this same misrepresentation to portray this video here as a clear example of how misandric and hetero-hating society is for permitting this bullying and hatred of anyone who is white, heterosexual and male without even batting an eyelid. But not me. I've just got this big warm smile all over my face, and for good reason. You see, the way that I see it is the battle for the future world over say things, whether it'll be more or less religious, is going to be determined by the quality and coherence of the arguments the various sides can put forward today. And when you've got a significant sized Christian channel called Christian Reason and Science putting together videos like this, oh yeah, this is why the internet is a place where religions come to die.